Hello, my name is Eric Calderon, and I'm a student occupational therapy assistant at Cincinnati State. Today, I'm going to discuss my group protocol therapy toolkit. To begin, I have the triggers handout and anger discussions handout for session 1, and my anger discussions handout is going to discuss, put simply, what anger is, examples, what it means, and this will allow the clients to process, discuss, and open and group discussion amongst all group members in terms of what anger is to them specifically. These group discussions are open-ended and will allow clients to communicate verbally, socially, and utilize emotional regulation when possible. In session 1, we also transition to the triggers handout, and trigger is defined here at the very top. The triggers handout also discusses a certain problem on which the clients may find a worst case scenario and an exposed trigger of theirs. Here they would be educated in trigger categories such as emotional state, people, places, things, thoughts, and activities, tips for dealing with these triggers, and the clients will be giving a time on figuring out and describing their biggest triggers in detail, describing a strategy to avoid and reduce exposure to each trigger, and describing a strategy in which each trigger head on when they cannot be avoided. The triggers activity is to promote anger management awareness. In session 2, we go with the healthy versus unhealthy coping strategies. Here in this session, we go over the coping strategies and examples of unhealthy and examples of healthy coping strategies. The group will be giving example scenarios and will provide feedback on whether those scenarios are appropriate as unhealthy or healthy. Scenario questions will be discussed in an open discussion group session. Later in the session, the clients will also fill out this sheet describing a problem that they are dealing with and how they are coping. They will also write down any unhealthy coping strategies that they currently are aware of and the consequences of those unhealthy coping strategies, along with a healthy coping strategy that they could use, may use, and apply to those scenarios. Session 3 consists of a worksheet that is due to coping skills. Here, the clients will become more aware of triggers, how to use these triggers to their advantage. They will also practice deep breathing for self-emotional regulation, keeping an anger log to promote further awareness, and the multitude of coping skills such as using diversions. Examples are those listed in the category box. Other coping skills such as taking timeouts, along with awareness such as knowing your warning signs. Session 4 includes a sensory bottle kit that includes Elmer glue, water, glitter, food coloring drops, sequins. This will be used for sensory integration purposes to help stimulate clients. The purpose is to promote self-regulation along with a diversion tactic in coping skills. Session 5 ends with Jenga Tower. This is themed for anger management. The Jenga blocks will be color-coded, and each color will represent a certain question. Red represents what triggers do you know set an emotion off. Blue being how or what coping skills will you utilize to help with that emotional trigger or whatever state that promotes stress. Yellow being, have there been any scenarios in which you have been triggered or have had anger, and with the awareness that you have now, how will you change that in terms of coping skills? This is all part of the anger management scenarios and group protocol that I am leading. This is all for Group 1, Anger Discussions, Questions, and Triggers. Group 2, Healthy versus Unhealthy Coping Strategies. Group 3, Coping Skills. These first 3 group activities are to promote educational and awareness, along with the clients becoming more aware of their anger and emotions. Group 4 uses a sensory integration-based approach, building and doing a DIY sensory bottle, and ending the group at Group 5 is a application of Jenga Tower. More information is posted in the submission for the Jenga Tower, and that will conclude my group protocol toolkit.